Hi, it's Mike and Brent again with another chart breakdown for Trade Therapy. This week we are doing, it's Monday, September 30th. We are looking at Alibaba to support our spotlight that we released last week. When we left, or when we last looked in at Alibaba was in July. This was the last chart that we had left. We had mentioned that this was setting up for what we believe to be a jump across the creek move. So if you recall in Wyckoff theory, there's an imaginary line that kind of connects all of these peaks, just like at the top, there's an imaginary line that connects all of these valleys that is the resistance to the short trade. It's called the ice at the top. You can see as price breaks through or falls through the ice, this is actually what's called breaking the ice. But once the ice is broken, then the short trade can continue on. Very similar concept to the creek. And we had mentioned that Baba looks like we're very late stage accumulation here. We may or may not see a spring develop. We weren't sure at that point, but we said that it sure does look like it's very late stage accumulation, and we could get a jump across the creek move, which is what we got last week. This is now September 27th. Last week's candle, you see here, is the jump across the creek move. We are now running into the 200 weekly exponential moving average, which is what we identified last week, or I'm sorry, in July, when we shared the original chart and said that we expected a jump across the creek move. We had mentioned that it will more than likely run into the 200 weekly exponential moving average. Now, this is today's chart. You can see we have jumped up, collided with the 200 weekly exponential moving average. You see we do have a speculative Elliott wave count here. We believe this is the beginning of wave 3, where we have wave 1, 2, and then going up to 3, 4, and then 5. We'll see if 5 ends up stopping at the 786 Fibonacci level, or whether or not it goes up to all the way back up to the previous highs. But we do expect a new uptrend to develop here and build out the right side of this cut base. It will most likely be a lockout rally, which is what we're seeing here. What a lockout rally is a very sharp, very quick, very fast moving pace, getting up to the top here where larger interests will be looking to take their first round of profits, which will be up in here somewhere. So very similar to the move that NVIDIA made last year, very similar to the move that Meta made. It is called a lockout rally. They didn't want you involved in the accumulation process, which is why you heard nothing but negative comments about China. They don't want you involved in the first level of their trade until they're ready to take profit. So we're still not long in, we still don't have a position in Baba. We're long Futu. For those of you that are long in Baba, looks like it's in great shape. We expect it to continue on with its breakout of its accumulation range. It will move on and most likely come back, do a little checkup in here somewhere, a little wave 4 before moving on into phase E of late stage accumulation and on into the higher levels.